Right, the country musician uh, and rock sensation, Jessie T, joins the show once again. The last time she was here was 2 years ago, so I'm very glad to meet her again. How do you do, Jessie?
I'm doing great, thank you, and so happy to be back and chatting with you.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't believe it's been 2 years. That's crazy.
I know. Time flies, right?
Yes, it sure does.
Yeah, I should also say that she recently came out with a new single. It's titled I'm Fine, and we're going to discuss it. Right. So, I guess, as the title suggests, the song is about either being fine or trying to be fine, right?
It sure is. Yeah. It's kind of it's a cool title for me because it means the exact opposite of what it says, which for anybody that struggled with, any sort of mental health or anxiety, I struggle with anxiety. Um, I'm fine is so often a kind of blanket term that we can use to explain how we're doing dig into oh did am I still there? Okay. um so that way we don't need to dig into everything that's actually going on. Oh, sorry, my computer just rebooted there. Can you still hear me, Chong?
Yeah, yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, sorry, let me start that again. um I'm fine is so often a blanket term that people that struggle with mental health or anxiety like myself use to kind of explain or to give an answer on how we're doing when we don't actually want to get into the whole story. I found there was a point in my life that was a phrase that I was using often, and I just wanted to kind of dissect a little bit of what that statement meant to me at that point in my life.
Mhm. I see. And how have you been managing your anxiety while also being a musician?
So that's a really interesting balance. I think there's a lot of mental health that happens in the creative arts. I think there's a reason that we all kind of get into it, and I think a lot of the time it's to find an outlet that works for us. Um, Being a musician is one of the things that I'm the most thankful for because it gives me an outlet to write and to express and to create. But I do think having this as a career oftentimes can add its own mental health stresses, just with how much there is to keep up with and the expected person you need to be as an artist versus the person that you are as a creative and like wanting to be liked when you put out your music and stuff like that. But thankfully, I have a great support team around me that's helped me kind of navigate those challenges. And I think right now I'm the most genuine and authentic version of myself that I've ever been able to be in music.
Really? Yeah. And what does anxiety look like for you?
Um, a lot of the time, um, I actually didn't know how to label my anxiety. Um, it felt kind of like a disassociation, like I'd be in conversations and rather than participating, I would be analyzing the things that I said or the way that people looked at me or perceived me, and I would be more caught up in my own mind than the physical world around me. Um, and I think I just spent a lot of time ruminating. I would call it kind of the cloud or the haze. I was oftentimes kind of caught up in that. And it started kind of consuming other areas of my life, and that's when I knew I needed to get help. I think a lot of people during the pandemic and stuff like that experienced mental health either to a larger amount than they had before or for the first time. So I'm really thankful that, the conversation about mental health and tools is something that we're all having nowadays to be able to share those resources.
Yeah. And I'm sure you have friends in the music world, and to what extent do they, relate or understand these struggles?
Absolutely. I think a lot of my friends also have similar struggles. And so, um, again, not speaking for them, but we're able to, sit down and have a coffee and unpack what we're going on and what we have going on. And having a community that knows who you are genuinely, authentically really does help myself be able to present that in a larger amount. You know, my friends love me, so it's why wouldn't other people? If I can show up genuinely for them, I should be able to show up genuinely for other people. And I think having more confidence and doing therapy and working on myself um, has really helped me to show up genuinely in other places as well.
Okay. Glad to hear it.
Thank you.
And I wonder if writing the song and performing it, helps with what you're going through at all.
Yeah, I never wanted to release this one, if I'm being honest. It was a diary entry for myself. I was kind of in the heat of it, right before I ended up kind of admitting that this was something that I was going through, because it's also hard to figure out sometimes what it is that you are going through because you only live in your own head. So if you don't talk about the way that you're feeling with professionals or with people that have experienced this, you can often just think you're going crazy, or it's something you should be able to tough up and just deal with. Um, but the song itself kind of came as an overflow, as a diary entry, and it wasn't until one really dead writer's night that I played. No one was there. It was just me and these two artists that I didn't know, and they were kind of going down the rabbit hole of playing songs that really meant a lot to them and influenced them. And I was shaking, and I was like, well, I guess there's no better time than the present to play this. And if it doesn't go well, then we'll just, call it quits and move on. Um, and from that one song and that one night sparked so many important conversations. And once again, I realized um, the blessing that it is to be a musician that writes about those things, but also there's a little bit of like a burden. You're like, ah, shit, okay, well, I wrote this, so I guess it's important to put out so other people can not feel alone and maybe find some more answers through some of the discoveries that I've made.
Yeah. And what do you hope the song would impact listeners on?
I hope that there's people that hear it and feel less alone. I hope that there's people that hear it and know that there's other, people experiencing this and that there is another side to actually being fine. Um, I hope that they talk to people about what they're experiencing and talk to a professional. Um, I think that's so important in healing um, and also realize that each of us have our own challenges and struggles that we face every day, and it's just a matter of getting to know yourself and getting to love yourself and treating those hard parts with grace, um, that you can find kind of resolution or an easier path on the other side of it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned that the song is based on a diary entry, so it captures a moment in time. So I wonder, as of today, are you closer to being, fine now, or, do you still
Yeah,
have some
I,
things to
I
work on?
think so. But I guess we'll see what the rest of the songwriting journey holds. I think, um, I have good days, I have bad days, but I've learned to embrace both. Um, some days I've always been so thankful for music that it kind of, like you said, marks a period in time that you can go back and revisit, um, and to also see not only where you were but how far you've come. Um, so yeah, there are days and periods in my life that I still feel uh, like it would be a really easy blanket term, but now I don't have that excuse because if I say I'm fine, a bunch of my friends and family go, "You wrote a song about that." You're probably not. Let's talk about it. Um, so yeah, I would definitely say I'm doing good. I'm doing good right now.
Okay. Very glad to hear it.
Thank you. I appreciate that, John.
Yeah. So the song came out in early August. So we're talking in October now. Um, so I'll be obviously putting the song at the end of this conversation portion of the podcast. But was there anything about how the song was received that you are surprised by?
Totally. I thought we would have been moved on to the next song by now, to be completely honest. Um, but I feel like this is the first song that I've really given a chance to promote online and to just let sit. I think this industry moves through music really quickly right now, with how much it can be consumed with streaming platforms, and um, I feel like this song and the message needs to kind of live a little bit more life. And we had sent it to SiriusXM. It got picked up, which kind of made me feel like, well, maybe we should try this at Canadian radio. So on Tuesday of this past week, so Tuesday, October 7th, it went to Canadian Country Radio, and we've already had a few stations pick it up, which has been really cool. I didn't know what the content matter of this song, whether or not it would be received in a commercial space, but I'm really thankful that people are giving it a chance.
Okay, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Do you believe that you've gained like better self-knowledge with every song that you've composed, including this one?
That's a great question. Yeah, I I'd like to think so. Like I was just at a writing session yesterday, and we were talking about looking in back catalogs and seeing the growth and evolution as an artist. And I can definitely see from my first record to now the development of writing and development of content matter. And I think through being a creative, through writing, through therapy, through growing and evolving as a person, the music that I'm making is so much more genuinely me nowadays. And so it's been really cool to look back at that back catalog and kind of see the ebbs and flows of who I was as a person and figuring out where I am.
Mhm. Yeah. It reminds me of I think when we last chat, you have yet to release your second album, which is called Burning Back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should mention that I'm ordering a CD from you, so
Yes,
hope to
thank
receive it
you.
at some point.
I have it right here. So we in Canada here are experiencing a post strike or a Canada post strike right now, but there's still, I think like Pure Later or something like that is sending out CDs. So I have yours right here.
Oh, there you go.
So this will be going out to you later today. That's
Oh,
that's on my list.
okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, I hope
Of
to receive it.
course. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to you receiving it. Um, yeah, the last record was really cool. We put it out in November of 2023, and it received a nomination at the Ontario Country Music Awards, which was wild, really cool. And it's just, yeah, another kind of stepping stone to where I'm at now. I did all my own album artwork. I have on both the records, so it very much is kind of a representation of what's going on in my brain.
Yeah, and of course, as just a note of promotion, anyone who's in the Canada area and even internationally, you should
Mhm.
seek out this CD first.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. For sure, we're just in the process of updating my website, so we will be able to ship worldwide for both records. And yeah, I'm really excited to be able to offer that kind of outside of Canada on my website now. But yeah, any person that wants the art that I make, I'm more than happy to get it to you.
Awesome. Yeah. Of course, I'm currently living in Hungary, so yeah, I've asked her to ship it internationally. So hopefully that won't be too much of a hassle.
No, no, happy to do it.
Okay, that's great. I appreciate it very much.
Well, I appreciate you.
Okay. And so we're recording this in October, so the album will celebrate its second anniversary uh, next month. So
Yeah.
yeah, looking back on it, how far have you come, in terms of your evolution as an artist since releasing that album?
Oh man. That's a great question. I think there's parts of me that has it feels like I've grown exponentially. But I also feel like there's parts of me that are exactly the same. There's still this. excitement and curiosity about the music that I make and about just art and music in general. And that part I don't ever want to lose. Um, and that was very much alive in creating Burning Back and releasing it. And that was a heavy chapter of my life. So releasing that record really did feel like kind of being able to to close a chapter on that section. And I think since then there's been a lot of evolution and self-discovery and kind of owning my weird is where I'm at now. And that part has I feel like I've really kind of jumped into in this next chapter of my life, and that part of me does feel like I've kind of grown exponentially, and hopefully I continue to grow um, more in that direction. It's been really cool to see what the music off Burning Back has taught me, but still how those songs are alive and continue to evolve the more life that I live. I'm not sure if you've ever had this conversation with other artists, but sometimes I write songs about one thing in my life, and it almost feels like I'm fortune telling for another area of my life. And there's a few tracks on Burning Back that feels like the case.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm sure other musicians have told me the same things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are the songs of that album that you find to have that, I guess, foreshadowing quality to it?
Um, so that's interesting. There's a song called Title Track, which was the first song we released off of that record. And I wrote that with my good friends Carrie and John. John has actually passed away since we released this record. Um, but it was just a title. And the idea of title track is there's a relationship in your life that looks like your title track. It kind of defines everything. And I'm trying to think. Yeah, I was with my partner at that point, but we're engaged now. We have a house, and so that's kind of cool to like sit in that song and be like, "Oh, actually, maybe I was like writing my future there." Um, just a number, which I think was the first song that we had actually chatted about. That song will never grow old. Um, I feel like I continue to try and live more and more in that vein. And just a number for those that don't know is about just being a woman or a person in the world and having numbers so often associated with you, be it your waist size, your hip size, how old you are, how many kids you have, and then as a musician, the amount of streams and followers you have. It's over consuming. It's so this was a little bit of my standing up to that and saying that we're so much more than just a number. And I truly try and, live by that even in the new music that I make.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And of course, rest in peace to John.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
He taught me a lot. I'm really thankful for the time that we got to spend together and the music we got to make. I feel like there's when you get to know somebody in a writing session, there's just another level of their character that you get to experience. So yeah, he's very missed.
Yeah. And does your fiance work in music?
He does. He's doing a bunch of different things, but he's a bass player. So he plays in High Valley and a bunch of other bands. So we both play with Jason Blaine. He plays with Kelsey Main. Um, and so Kelsey.
Certainly.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, he plays with a bunch of different folks. And then he's also doing his PhD right now in education. And a lot of his writing is focused on music education and the importance of that. So yeah, he's a pretty special dude.
Yeah. He is. Have you guys decided on the wedding date yet?
Sometime next year. We were talking about May of this upcoming year, May 2026, but he will be on tour and doing his first defense of his PhD. So there will be no time for a wedding. But I love fall and the colors of fall. And so I think our plan is September of next year.
Okay. Yeah. Congratulations in advance.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, I wonder, how would you inspire, say, the next Jesse T? So someone who likes to go in the same path as you in terms of music.
Hmm, that's a wow. I think embracing the the life that you have lived and write about those things. There's been, challenges that I experienced, and I always thought that you had to be this kind of crystal clean, um, easy to consume version of yourself. That was what you were supposed to put out. You were a product, right? You're a brand. And I feel like the more that I've embraced my messiness or my weird, the better the music has become and the more genuine to myself that I've become. And putting out music that speaks to those parts of you also allows you to show up more genuinely. Um, but also just fall in love with the journey. It's so easy to get caught on what the next milestone is. And you never know what is going to be down the line or how far in advance the next milestone is. But if you can be in love with the journey and the people that are a part of your journey, um, I think that really does make it worth it.
Yeah, that's a lovely answer.
Thank you.
So who would you count as the most important people in your life right now?
Ooh. Hmm. Um, I would definitely say my partner. He's a huge part of my life. Um, he really does hold the mirror to who I am as a person and making sure that I kind of stick to that, which is really cool. But I also think that I have a lot of really great friends. My mom and my dad are huge people in my life, and I thankfully have had other like mom and dads that have kind of subbed in at different points in my life, mostly geographically. Um, yeah, and then oh my goodness, there's so many people. See, this is like choosing a wedding party. It's really hard. There's a lot of important people in my life. My friend Katie, Katie,
Yeah.
she's a really important person to me, and it's been really beautiful to kind of watch us grow as people. We were, teenagers getting drunk at a bar, and now we've grown into women, and seeing her become a mom has been so cool. And Rick, who was the producer that I worked on these first two records with, he's still such a huge person in my life. And Carrie DeMayer and Jamie Warren, and um, yeah, there's a lot of beautiful people in my life. So I count myself very thankful.
Certainly. Yeah, and yeah, it's a tough question on my end because you don't want to leave anybody out. Eh?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, who am I forgetting? My computer is just gonna die, so I'm just gonna plug this in really quick.
We're gonna wrap it up right now.
Okay.
So
Okay, sounds good.
yeah. Okay. So tell me about what would be your advice to, not just musicians, but people in general who are going through the same problems as you are going through.
I would say talk to your circle. If you have, the fortune of having um, the means to go to therapy, I realize that the world is very expensive right now. Um, and the world is not just expensive, but it's a heavy place right now. And so I think mental health wise, there's a lot of new things that we're facing every day. But I think if you if you can reaching out to a professional is one of the things that I would recommend at the highest level. There's a lot of like community programs that you can search. There's helplines. If you need them, use them. And it's really interesting because you don't always know what an emergency is, but it's always better to just call and chat with someone, so you don't feel alone. I also think figuring out what are some things that ground you. So if you're having a tough day, go for a walk, get outside. Don't just sit on your phone all day and consume. get into the real world, get into your body, try some breathing exercises, working out is a great outlet. Um, but yeah, diet, exercise, drink your water, sleep well. Look at, if you were a friend to yourself, what are some of the things that if you were talking to a friend, what are some of the things that you would tell your friend to do to look after themselves? And um, yeah, there's totally a world in which you can be closer to fine. I promise.
I think that's a beautiful note to end on. Thank you very much, Jessie T, for joining the show.
Thank Oh my gosh, thank you, Chong. I can honestly tell you this is one of my favorite interviews. I just love your questions and love the way that you help to highlight the point of this song. So thank you.